Hello, everybody. Josh here, and welcome back to another Monday Night Raw post show review, where I go over everything that happened on Monday Night Raw. I break down all the matches, all the segments, all that good stuff here on the post show. So, if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. Um, Usually, I do these by myself, but by myself. But on the other podcasts, like the pay-per-view predictions or the headlines of the week, I have Rue and Stu joining me. This video is coming out a lot later because I was at Destiny Wrestling in Mississauga, Ontario yesterday, and I missed Forbidden Door and Heatwave live. So last night after Destiny Wrestling, I was up till like 3 in the morning, and I watched Heatwave last night, and then I had to catch up on Forbidden Door today. So I wanted to get that out of the way, um, just to have somewhat of a night to myself. And I'm gonna have somewhat of a night because it's currently 11 p.m. So yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way, and I was gonna do a Forbidden Door and Monday Night Raw review, but I think I'm just gonna save the Forbidden Door and Heat Wave review, like give my thoughts on it on the Headlines of the Week podcast when I have Rue or Stu or both of them on the podcast, and we can all share our thoughts. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do for that. And honestly, I am exhausted, and I really didn't feel like doing a triple combo edition of the post show. So we're gonna be going over Monday Night Raw tonight, and then yeah, on Saturdays when we do the headlines of the week, I will go over everything that happened on Heatwave and Forbidden Door. Um, and like also I didn't have much to say about either show. They were just it was fine. Obviously still do have a lot of like some opinions on some things that happened on both shows. But yeah, that's about it. So before we get into Monday Night Raw, make sure you guys are subscribed, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Make sure you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. I'm currently lining up some potential interviews. I got some stuff written down, reach out to some people for some interviews, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, go also check out my TikTok page, my Instagram page. I posted some like quotes I got from Moose and Priscilla Kelly at Destiny Wrestling, and just a whole bunch of other stuff, especially my TikTok. So go ahead and check those things out as well. Also go follow my X or Twitter account. um yeah, that one's not doing so well, so go ahead and show some support over there. I post news on my Twitter account as well, so go check that out. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Ko-Fi page as well. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. um yeah, if you're able to, I would greatly appreciate you guys subscribing to the Ko-Fi page. But with all that out of the way, let's get straight into the Monday Night Raw post show. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with Roman Reigns starting the show. He came out pretty much, he was embracing the crowd. The crowd was obviously loving Roman Reigns. They were in Birmingham, England, and so the crowd was just absolutely insane. They were cheering for everything, especially Roman Reigns, and they were really loud. If you see me keep reaching over, it's because I have my phone in front of me, which is where I have all my notes on, and my phone just keeps wanting to power off. So that's why I keep reaching over. I don't have like a separate monitor or anything. I'm not fancy like that yet. Um, so yeah, Roman Reigns was interrupted by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed pretty much told Roman that he's the Samoan that Roman's uncle and dad warned him about, and Roman was like, "You're Samoan." Um, yeah, apparently Roman Reigns didn't know Bronson Reed was Samoan, so Roman Reigns was like, "Since you're Samoan, Bronson Reed should come down to the ring and return his shoes and acknowledge him." Just because Roman's the tribal chief, all that stuff. But then Roman goes up the ramp. Bronson meets him. They start brawling. Security pulls them apart. Um, Roman flies off the top rope onto a bunch of security and Bronson Reed onto the floor. And then they brawl, and then security break them up. So that was that. Pretty interesting segment there. Nothing too special happening though. It's just what we've seen the past few weeks. And yeah, they're just building to their match at Clash in Paris, which was made official on Monday Night Raw. Like we knew it was going to be made official. So yeah, Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed this Sunday at Clash in Paris. Then we had kicking off the night, the first match of the night, I should say, was Dragon Lee defeating JD McDonough by pinfall with some help from AJ Styles taking out Dominic Mysterio. Um, I don't have much to say about this match. It was fine. Like it wasn't a bad match or anything like that. Um, yeah, in terms of the match, nothing much to say. We're obviously continuing the AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio thing. Um, and then that was settled later on in the night, which I'll get into. Um, Backstage, Jackie Redmond was with LA Knight. LA Knight didn't believe that CM Punk really has anyone else's best interest at heart. And that, CM Punk's just hungry. But LA Knight says he's hungry for the title as well. Um, so yeah, pretty much just talking about the Fatal Four Way and how he wants to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that's what that was. We then had a vignette of Rusev saying he was built to be great and he's going to prove that to Sheamus at Clash in Paris. That's pretty much all that vignette was. There's really nothing to break down with those two things. Um, Backstage, Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor were getting into a bit of a disagreement. They were blaming each other for JD McDonough losing. And then Dominic Mysterio suggested that Finn Balor handles AJ Styles tonight. And then Balor was like, okay, I'll go talk to Adam Pearce. So Balor went to talk to Adam Pearce. And then that match ended up getting made official. And we'll get into that match in a little bit. Then we had Kofi Kingston defeating Penta by pinfall with some help from Grayson Waller. Now, this is a result I didn't actually expect. I'm still not totally fond of this feud, but I will say I didn't expect this result. If you saw my TikTok of my Raw preview over on TikTok, then you would know I said that this was just going to be Penta winning again. But yeah, Kofi Kingston picked up the win here with distraction from Grayson Waller. Obviously, Xavier Woods got involved a little bit as well. So yeah, I don't know what their plan is for this at all. I don't know if this is going to continue. If I almost dropped my microphone, I don't know if this is going to continue, and if Kofi Kingston and Penta are going to run it back, and then Penta wins that one, and then the feud is over, and Penta goes into whatever it may be. There's so many other things that Penta could be doing and that he should be doing. He shouldn't be feuding with the New Day for absolutely no reason. Like if it was the Lucha Bros feuding with the New Day, then sure, I'll take it. That's not the case because Rey Fenix is partnered with Andrade. Backstage, we had Io Sky telling Rhea Ripley that Asuka and Kairi Sane are upset that Rhea's been helping her and all that stuff. And Io Sky pretty much just said it's best they keep space from each other just so she can, figure out everything with Asuka and Kairi Sane. She then hugs Rhea Ripley, and in the background, you can see Asuka and Kairi Sane seeing this, and Asuka wasn't happy. But Io Sky wasn't aware of this. Backstage, we had Adam Pearce tell Stephanie Vaquer that she is no longer going to be at Clash at Paris. However, she is still the number one contender. And to give him a week, I believe he said, and he has an opponent in mind for her to face for the women's world championship. Obviously, with Naomi being pregnant and not being able to defend that title anymore and having to vacate that title, he says just give him a week and he'll have something for her. But yeah, Stephanie Vaquer is no longer going to be at Clash at Paris. So yeah, I wonder when this match is going to be. I assume probably WrestlePalooza. I'm curious as to who the person is going to be. Maybe we'll talk about that on the Headlines of the Week podcast. Once I get some more people in mind of who it could be. We then had a Becky Lynch promo. She came out. She did the same thing she did with Dublin, Ireland. She was like, "Oh, I had my first tryout in Birmingham." And like she's like, this is where my career really started, and then insulted Birmingham, England, saying that it was a dumpster back then and it's a dumpster now, or something along those lines. um Nikki Bella then came out. They went back and forth, some jaw jacking between them. um Nikki Bella offered a challenge, which Becky didn't accept at first, but after some back and forth talking, Becky accepted the challenge. um Becky went for a cheap shot, but Nikki Bella countered, and then sends Becky Lynch running. Um, this segment was exactly what I expected it to be. And again, if you saw my Raw preview earlier today, then I called this one pretty much accurately. Um, yeah, so it's going to be Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella at Clash in Paris for the women's IC title. Obviously, we're going to get into our predictions later this week for Clash in Paris, so stay tuned for that. We had another vignette of Sheamus. He's calling Rusev cringe, and that nobody really wanted him to come back to the WWE because he lost his love for the game. But since wrestling him in the series of matches that they've wrestled, Sheamus believes that he brought something out in Rusev, and he brought that back, like that fiery edge back into Rusev. Um, and yeah, Sheamus just believes that he's going to beat the hell out of Rusev at Clash in Paris and the good old fashioned Donnybrook match. So yeah, some straightforward stuff there from that vignette. Nothing really to break down in that regard. We then had Rhea Ripley defeating Roxanne Perez by pinfall. After the match, Raquel and Roxanne attacked Rhea Ripley, but then, of course, Io Sky made the save, despite her saying, "Oh, we should have some space." Um, yeah, Io Sky made the save, sent Raquel and Roxanne running. Um, yeah, so that trend is just continuing. Um, I apologize if you can hear my dog barking in the background. I feel like I apologize for that like every single podcast now. um, Backstage, we had Seth Rollins hyping up Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Um, and then we had another backstage segment with Asuka and Kairi Sane going up to Io Sky. Asuka is mad that she helped Rhea Ripley. And yeah, same thing that we've seen previous weeks. There's nothing new here. Asuka was just yelling. Kairi Sane was torn between the two. Kairi said, "I'm sorry," walked away with Asuka. Yeah. There's nothing really for me to break down here other than this is just I don't know what it is. It's not the greatest thing right now, and it's just got to be that they don't have anything else for these women. Um, for these four specifically. Um, yeah, they're just throwing them in this random thing with Io, Rhea, and the Kabuki Warriors. Um, we then had AJ Styles defeating Finn Balor by pinfall. Pretty solid match from them too, but that's what you can expect from two people like AJ Styles and Finn Balor. When that was announced, I was like, okay, we get it, Styles versus Balor. That's always good when we get that. Um, like at one point in time, that was considered a WrestleMania dream match, and now we just do it on Monday Night Raw. Um, no, but it was a good match. Both of them are fantastic, and I'm a fan of both. Backstage, Jey Uso is, stressed about who to trust. Roman Reigns is there with him, and he says that the last person he should trust is CM Punk. He pretty much just tells Jey Uso to win it for him, win it for the family, and all that stuff, just hyping Jey Uso up. Um, we had another vignette of Bayley. This time she was hearing her hugger gimmick in her ear. I can't speak today. Um, she was hearing the hugger gimmick, but then she was also hearing the ding dong hello gimmick as well in her head, calling her stupid, calling her an idiot. The hugger gimmick was obviously telling her that, we won the NXT Women's Championship. We did all of this, all so much great stuff, and you were happy. So yeah, I'm assuming this might lead to a Bayley heel turn. I can't at all see them bringing back the hugger gimmick. Um, but yeah, and then after that, Lyra Valkyria was talking to Adam Pierce and was worried about Bailey and asking Pierce if he's heard from her, but Bailey hasn't returned any phone calls or text messages. Um, After that, after Lyra walked away, Dominic Mysterio approached Adam Pierce and told him that he needs to do something about this AJ Styles situation. Excuse me. Um, and Pierce was like, "Okay, I will make a match next week, and it'll be Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship in Paris on Raw." Um, I don't know off the top of my head how many matches they have for Clash in Paris, but I feel like they could have done this at Clash in Paris. Like you might as well have, um, rather than doing it on the night after. But it is what it is. I guess they did at SummerSlam. They said that's good enough. So they're doing this on the Raw after Clash in Paris next week, which is also in Paris. Um, we had a backstage segment before Braun Breaker went out to his match with LA Knight. Roman Reigns attacked Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, gave Bronson Reed a Superman punch. Then security dragged him away, but then LA Knight came and dragged Braun Breaker out to the ring. They brawled out to the ring. It ultimately ended with Braun Breaker defeating LA Knight with some help from Seth Rollins, who got involved. Didn't touch LA Knight, but caused a distraction long enough for Braun Breaker to take advantage. I believe it was a spear he hit to win the match. After the match, Division went on the attack on Knight. But Jey Uso, I just realized on the website I put NIGHT instead of KNIGHT. I don't even know how that happened. I guess my keyboard didn't register the K. Um, but Jey Uso came to the save, and rescued him. But then the Vision obviously got the better of Jey Uso with the numbers game. CM Punk, of course, then came out to the rescue, sends the Vision running. They're on the ramp, and then in the ring afterwards, CM Punk and LA Knight are getting into it. They start shoving each other. Jay tries to separate them, but he gets shoved aside. Um, Punk and LA Knight start falling, start fighting. They go back and forth. Um, Punk has, I think Punk had Knight for something, but then Knight got caught with a super kick from Jay. Jay laid out Knight with a super kick and then laid out CM Punk with a super kick. And then Jay was standing tall. And then Seth was like yeeting on the stage. So a cool little ending to Monday Night Raw there. Um, Obviously building hyped around the Fatal 4-Way match at Clash in Paris between those four men, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and CM Punk. So yeah, in terms of the entire episode of Monday Night Raw, it was fine. There was nothing really special about it. When I looked at the card going into it, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be pretty much the same stuff. It's not gonna be that good of a go home show, and I was right. Like it wasn't god awful, but it wasn't good either. It was just, yeah, it was okay. It it was a forgettable Monday Night Raw. Um, but I guess on these go home shows, they do the minimum. Honestly, they just hype up a bunch of matches for the pay per view, which I guess is good. Um, and what a go home show is for, but you could do a little better with these go home shows, just a little. Um, they could be written so much better, but yeah, that was Monday Night Raw for August 25th, 2025. Let me know what you guys thought about Monday Night Raw tonight and what your predictions are for Clash in Paris on Sunday. You can let me know in a number of different ways. You can let me know in the comments on YouTube. You can also join the Discord server that we have for Kayfabe Central. It's always in the description below. You can join up the Discord server and let us know your thoughts and predictions on everything going on pro wrestling or anything outside of pro wrestling. But you can also put your predictions in the Discord server. You can let me know on Spotify comments as well. We have the Headlines of the Week podcast. Everything on there is like everything's on Spotify except for these weekly TV post show reviews. So you can let me know over there. You can also let me know on my Ko-Fi page, which is $5 minimum, to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content here. So if you're able to, I would greatly appreciate that if you're able to subscribe to the Ko-Fi page. You can also let me know on the Kayfabe Central website, which is completely free, like the other platforms, other other than Ko-Fi. Um, so yeah, you can go ahead to the Kayfabe Central not YouTube channel. You can go to the YouTube channel, um, but go to the website, and I have so many things, and I'm just mixing them up. Like I did this on one of my TikToks as well. I'm like, oh my goodness, so many things to manage. But yeah, you can go ahead to the Kayfabe Central website, and the website is it looks a little bit different now, but all you like if you want to find my coverage post and my article post, all you have to do is click on the my blog option on the website, and like it'll be like where those three lines are. You just click up top there and go to my blog, and you'll find all the coverage posts, all the written predictions, excuse me, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.